When I say the words Discovery Island, a person who isn't a big fan of Disney might not know what I'm talking about. Maybe some people think I'm talking about a portion of Animal Kingdom called Discovery Island. I'm talking about Disney's first zoological park called Discovery Island, which is right over there.
The Magic Kingdom. This, of course, is the place that most clearly reflects the man Walt Disney.
Epcot Center, Walt Disney's greatest dream, is now a reality.
This is the Disney MGM Studios theme park at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, and I am proud to join all the animals and characters in welcoming you to Disney's Animal Kingdom.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Now, to get things started, this lake right here is called Bay Lake. Bay Lake is one of two lakes surrounding the Magic Kingdom, and it's a natural lake, and in the middle of it is that natural forming island. Originally, this island was called Raz Island, which was named after the family who lived on it. From 1900 to 1937, it went under this name, and it was mainly used for farming purposes. And then late in the 1930s, a man named Delmar Nicholson bought the island for $800. He was actually known as Radio Nick because he was Florida's first radio DJ. Radio Nick renamed the island Idle Bay Isle, and he used it for things like growing fruit. Radio Nick, his wife, and his pet Crane lived on the island for almost 20 years. But he was eventually forced to sell the island because of his declining health, so he decided to sell it to a couple of local businessmen. The island was once again renamed. This time it would be called Riles Island. The businessmen used the island as a hunting retreat, and without any upkeep to the island, they let it grow wild. Then on November 22nd, 1963, the exact same day President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, Walt Disney was flying his airplane scouting land for his upcoming Florida project. He would have been flying literally right over where I am right now, around Magic Kingdom, and that's when he was flying over Bay Lake right here, and he noticed this island. He said he really liked the island, and something drew him to that island. He loved how peaceful and tranquil it looked. And as many people know, Walt Disney loved nature, and he thought that this area right here would be a perfect place to build his new theme park. 2 years later, in 1965, Walt Disney finally finished purchasing the area that would comprise Walt Disney World. And of course, included in it was the island that drew him to this area in the first place. So when Walt Disney was in the planning stages of Disney World, he originally wanted this island to be a pirate themed island, and he would call it Blackbeard's Island. But as we all know, Walt Disney passed away 5 years before Walt Disney World opened in 1966, and he never got to see his plans for Blackbeard's Island realized. When Walt Disney World opened in 1971, the island was called Blackbeard's Island, but it remained unused and undeveloped for 3 years. Eventually in 1974, Disney had plans of opening the island, and they would rename it Treasure Island. They were trying to realize Walt's vision for the island by making it a developed pirate-themed destination. The island was planned to be loosely based on the book and Disney movie Treasure Island. The island finally, for the first time, on April 8th, 1974, was open to the public. Tickets originally cost $2.50 for adults and $1.25 for children. On the island, guests could see birds like parrots and macaws and different animal presentations. But overall, there wasn't too many things for guests to do on the island. You can see here from a Treasure Island map that there were a lot of themed areas, but not too many attractions. And due to that, a little less than 2 years after it opened, in January of 1976, Treasure Island closed due for a major refurbishment. During the renovation, Disney would expand the island by adding 50,000 cubic yards of soil, making it well over 11 acres. Also during the renovation, the pirate theming was removed, except for the shipwreck on the coastline, and a bunch of different trees and flowers from around the world were added. Treasure Island reopened in April of 1976. That's a really fast turnaround for a refurbishment. It's only like 3 months. When it opened, the island had a new theme that was based around conservation and education. But a common theme kept reoccurring with this island, and eventually it would lead to its demise. Guests were unfortunately just not visiting the island like Disney thought they would. Guests thought it was just too small with not enough things to do. Maybe Disney thought a retheme and a rename of the island would change people's minds. And in 1978, Disney changed the island's name once again, this time to what most people know it as today as Discovery Island. It was said that a cast member chose the name and was awarded $50 for it. New attractions like Jose Carioca Flyers Bird Show, Turtle Beach, and even a scavenger hunt were added. And now there were over 140 species of animals and over 250 species of plants on Discovery Island. Some of the common animals that could be found on the island were toucans, alligators, primates, and bald eagles. And actually, a few years after it opened, the American Zoo and Aquarium Association gave Disney accreditation for Discovery Island. Many guests who visited Discovery Island also visited River Country because there was a boat that would take guests back and forth. River Country is really cool, and I did a video all about the history of River Country, why it closed and what's to come. If you want to check that out, go ahead and click the link up here or check the description box down below. So here's a little context of how close Discovery Island and River Country were. This is Discovery Island right here, and just over there, that is where River Country was. But now it is currently under demolition. So as the years went on, Disney continued to add different animal exhibits to Discovery Island. There were a few different shows available to guests, like the Reptile Relations, where guests could learn all about reptiles, or the Feathered Friends show featuring different species of birds. But unfortunately, it seemed like whatever Disney did with this island, it just never caught on with guests. Probably had a lot to do with its out-of-the-way location. I mean, you have to get a boat to go to the island, and it's pretty small. It's only 11 acres in size. But Disney still wanted to have like an animal themed park that guests could go to. Disney had always loved animals since the beginning of the company. Walt Disney actually wanted the Jungle Cruise to feature real live animals. So with Disney expanding its empire and adding more theme parks around the world, they thought it would be best to add a fourth theme park in Walt Disney World that would be themed around animals. And on June 20th, 1995, Disney announced their plans to build Animal Kingdom, the fourth theme park over here at Walt Disney World. And Michael Eisner, the CEO of Disney at the time, described the park as being a celebration of animals that are currently living, the animals that lived in the past, and the animals that never existed at all. And this new theme park would be Disney's largest that they had ever created. But with this really cool new park announcement, it was only a matter of time before Discovery Island would be closed. Animal Kingdom opened on April 22nd, 1998, and Discovery Island, however, would stay open for one more year. Discovery Island eventually closed on April 8th, 1999, the exact 25-year anniversary of when the island was first opened to the public. The animals that lived on Discovery Island were eventually transferred over to Animal Kingdom, and some of them were transferred to other zoos around the country. Discovery Island might be gone, but Disney Imagineers did pay homage to it by naming a land after it in Animal Kingdom. When you're in Animal Kingdom and you're passing through Discovery Island, just remember where it originally came from. But since Discovery Island closed in 1999, literally nothing has happened to it, and it's just sat there abandoned, kind of like how River Country was. Disney never announced any plans for Discovery Island, and there are no rumors or no signs at all of anything happening to it anytime soon. But I'm sure Disney one day is going to announce something for Discovery Island. Just don't know when. I think that they could do a lot of really cool things with the island. I don't think it'll be like a popular place to go for like a theme park or anything. It's just way too small. I think that maybe they could use it for like an interactive game or something. Like, I really like the idea that they had a scavenger hunt over there. That would be pretty cool. Or kind of like how they have escape rooms nowadays. I think that this would be a really cool place to have that. But until Disney announces something, Discovery Island just sits there abandoned. That is the full history of Discovery Island. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to learn about some other Disney history videos, I have a whole playlist on my channel that you can go check out. I try to make one Disney history video per week. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It just lets me know that you guys did enjoy it. And if you are new here, of course, subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all the new videos that I'm putting out. What do you guys think would be a good idea for Discovery Island? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you have any suggestions for Disney history videos, leave them to me in the comments down below. It's pretty crazy to think that this little island right here was one of the main reasons why Walt Disney picked this location for Disney World. But I'm glad he did. And like he said, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. We'll see you guys on the next video.